Hi friends, today we are making these adorable St. Patrick's Day Shamrock ribbon wands. They're festive, colorful, and perfect for parties, decorating, or just adding a little Irish magic to your day. Best of all, this is a great scrap busting project using leftover paper and ribbon from your stash. So let's get crafting. To get started, we only need a few items. I just pulled a few things from my craft stash. So I'm using the Echo Park St. Patrick's Day paper pad along with the scrapbook.com nested 4-leaf clover die set. And I'll also be using a clover embossing folder for some added texture. And of course, I pulled a variety of ribbons from my stash for the tails of the wands. Let's start with our die cuts. From the nested clover set, I used the largest clover die and cut 2 clovers out. One will be the front of our clover. One will be for our backer piece. Then I took a smaller shamrock die and cut it out from the center of one of the clovers. This creates a window opening that will hold our shaker element in place. To make the shaker window, I cut a piece of acetate the same size as a large clover, and then I apply liquid adhesive to the back of the front clover piece and attach it directly onto the acetate sheet. The shamrock die cut that we cut out from the front, I'm taking that die cut and gluing it onto the front side of our backer piece, and this is going to align perfectly with that window of the shamrock that we cut from the topper piece. This shamrock die cut will sit right behind our shaker window. Now for the fun part, the shaker. I'm using a mixture of scrapbook.com shimmer flakes in these colors: confetti, watermelon, mermaid, pot of gold, and Lucky Charms. I end up adding a small amount of each right into the center of the shamrock window, and I thought that the combination of all the colors gives it a really magical, sparkly look. These shimmer flakes are very thin and very lightweight, and I love using them because they give a very beautiful finish to your cards, and the sparkle factor is just incredible on them. Now it can get a little bit messy because these are very thin glitter flakes, but it's easy to just sweep up with a damp rag and you're good to go. Once the shaker mix is inside, I glue the top clover piece right on top, sealing everything together. And that completes our shaker shamrock piece. So now let's create the tail of the wand. I'm using a variety of ribbons from my stash in all different widths and patterns that are reminiscent of St. Patrick's Day and rainbows, and I lay each piece down and hot glue them one on top of the other, slightly fanning them out as I go. This is such a great way to use up smaller ribbon scraps that you have, and once your ribbon tails are glued together, I trim the ends at an angle to give them a nice finished look. For the handle of the wand, I'm using skinny wooden dowels. You can also find some of these at Dollar Tree as well. I sprayed them with Krylon Glitter Blast and Golden Glow to give them that sparkly pot of gold look. But after they dried, I wanted the gold to be a little richer. It was a little too subtle for me and not as sparkly, so I added stickles and goldenrod. So I spread the stickles along each dowel and massaged the glitter in, adding a few layers at a time for extra shine, and then I set them aside to dry. And honestly, I really love how the stickles goldenrod really does bring out the gold of the golden glow from the spray paint. Now, once everything is dry, it's time to assemble the wands. So I turn my clover shaker to the back side. I hot glue the dowel first, add the ribbon tails, and then I also top it off with just another strip of some ribbon just to polish the top edges. And then on the actual tails of the wands, I die cut 2 smaller shamrocks in all different sizes and patterns from the same paper pad. I basically sandwiched 2 shamrocks together on the actual ribbons, so it looks like charms dangling off of the ribbon tails. And that's it. Now we have these sparkly St. Patrick's Day ribbon wands full of shimmer, color, and Irish charm, and so incredibly easy to make with what you have. These are such a fun way to use up scraps, and they're perfect for party favors, decorations, or even festive photo props. If you enjoyed this project, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what you'd fill your shaker with. I hope you all have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for crafting with me today, friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.